Welcome, welcome. I've got a whole table full of goodies, and what I want to talk about today is the whole concept that's kind of popular right now of no buy 2025. And the interesting thing is, with the exchange going on between US and China, a lot of the goods that are manufactured in China are being offered for sale directly from China without the logos on them. And people are starting to find out what we as sewers already knew, how much markup there is on these luxury items. So I'm going to use one example today. I want to do Armani because a little while ago I got an email that said, I would sew if I could get the quality fabrics. And we have the quality fabrics. A lot of people just don't realize that you can get them, number one, and number two, that we have them, and we have them at really good prices. So we're going to do a little comparison today. I hope you find this informative and interesting. I did watch a few, actually quite a few, No Buy 2025, people who had failed, people who had been successful, and how they were successful. And what I found was that most of who were successful struck, instead of a no buy, they struck kind of a middle zone, like, okay, we're going to buy affordable and quality and things that will last. And so again, this is stuff that we as sewers know already. So today I'm going to focus on Armani. Not that we don't have Gucci fabrics and we have Hugo Boss and we have Etro, we have other designers as well, but today I'm going to focus on Armani because those are good price points. So the first thing I'm going to do is show you these jackets. These are current jackets that are out that are Giorgio Armani. Giorgio Armani is the highest level, not Armanio, Emporium, or just Armani, but actually Giorgio Armani, both names. And so with these, you can see these price points are good. They're hefty. They're definitely quality, you could call it. Giorgio Armani doesn't have beautiful yachts without reason. But what we know as sewers is when we look at these prices, certainly a garment cannot cost this amount or even half of this amount. It just can't happen. And so we've known that for a long time, and we've wondered, okay, who's buying this? Well, a lot of women are buying it because they want the quality. They want what we want as sewers, except they just don't have the value that we have, and they're okay to buy it. Or somehow they see it as a special occasion and they go ahead and purchase. And there's been times I've purchased, so I'm in one of those categories. All right, so however, I do want to do a comparison because the fabrics I have on the table are all Armani. And these are fabrics that have been purchased through Italian mills or directly from Armani. Because you think about it, it's just logical that they sell some of their goods, that they have too many goods, and what do? They sell them off. Now, many of Armani fabrics do not actually have their logo on them, and so they are free to sell them, as opposed to if you get into a designer that has their name embossed through it, it's more difficult for that designer or the Burberry plaid to sell those. And so Burberry, as we know, they've been accused of burning their fabrics because of the excess. They don't know what to do with the excess. Okay, so in this particular case, I just want to highlight, there's a few Armanis. I don't need to show them because you can actually go to them and you can see them better than what I can show them to you here, because we do, each time we put up a fabric, we put up a video. But the numbers are 8127, 8029, 8127 is the one I've actually got on. It's this reversible. It's a navy, it's a knit. It's a navy dot. It's beautiful. I mean, it's so beautiful. And if you look at it, it's the one I've got on. It looks very Armani. Most of Armani fabrics are reversible. I'm just going to tell you that because there's a lot of things he makes that are reversible. Then 8029 is this beautiful kind of mauve piece. It's a viscose crepe. Again, beautiful, incredible drape for pants, etc., etc. And then 8174. And I may be off on my numbers, you guys, but those three fabrics. This again is a textured, it's a knit, and it's a reversible. Beautiful, beautiful piece of fabric again. So I wanted to make one of these up, and so I went to this next picture, and I want you to see this. This is kind of a thought. I want to make this. This is one of our patterns because most of those that I've duplicated, especially in the beginning, were very classic style. So this is 1900. And you can look at our website on 1900 and you can see just a very similar jacket there. This is a little shorter, but y'all know how to make it shorter. And then I did with the navy fabric, the navy knit, I did a reversible. This is reversible. And I kind of played off that reversible. I decided to do no facings and just make it just like it is. And so you can see there that I did kind of a close-up. I wanted to make a tank that matched underneath because a lot of the times when you buy these in ready-to-wear, they do have coordinating pieces. And so I can use the tank with it. I can make it separate. It doesn't make a difference. But you've noticed that I flipped that binding back on itself so that when I used the navy side, I turned the dotted side over so that I had that kind of self-built-in binding or facing. So it's very easy to do, very simple to do, and yet lovely because the fabrics are beautiful. And even if, as the fabrics are more expensive, and I did not get the price points, but if they're $50 a yard and you get 2 yards or 3 yards, you see you're at 100 or 150, you're substantially lower than that $2,500 mark. And so that's why I say this is what we know about sewing. This is what we love about sewing. So I'm going to push you to pick a pattern that you already have done. Pick a pattern that you're already familiar with. And then buy a more expensive fabric so that you can upgrade your wardrobe. And I think that's how we get to a no-buy or a compromise of a no-buy, is simply that we upgrade or we spend a little more on fabric, but yet much less than what if we were to buy. And so I think that that's what I enjoy doing. I've noticed in my own wardrobe, I've upgraded slowly to where the fabrics are better, the quality is better, my sewing is better, all of those things, to where I really get to where I have a closet that I just love. And that's the goal, to love what we sew and yet to save on the values of what we're sewing. And the goal is, of course, as we know, happy sewing from Silhouette Patterns.